Tashi Dele, and hello to all the brothers and sisters. I very much hope that using our whatever amount of Dharma understanding that we have through the kindness of all the past and present Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and Gurus, and the Sanghas, that you are taking very good care of both physically and mentally during this very difficult time from the COVID-19 pandemic health crisis that we're experiencing around the world. And seems like in this very stage, things are getting very serious. So as a Dharma practitioner, we have learned again and again, and each time we refer to the Dharma teaching, each time we listen to Dharma discourses, and whenever we listen to our Guru's advice, is always start with emphasizing to realize the basis of all the Dharma or the teaching, the Four Noble Truth, the truth of the suffering, truth of the causes of the suffering, and truth of the path, and truth of the cessation. So therefore, in actual fact, we all are well educated in understanding of the nature of samsara and nature of this particular samsara that we are carrying within our aggregates and the environment that we live in. So therefore, as far as concerned with the intellectual understanding, no doubt that we have clear understanding. But then, due to, like myself, due to lacking of contemplation and meditation and application in our day-to-day life, we do fail drastically when adversities, when difficulties, comes in our way. So therefore, it is so important. It is extremely crucial. In fact, from the very beginning, when we meet the Dharma, when we learn the Dharma, never to be separated. Learning, contemplation, and meditation. Applying whatever we learn into our day-to-day way of living. So therefore, and this is, I think, instead of regarding this crisis as something to cause us panic, cause us so much anxiety, so much suffering, suffocations. Rather, as a practitioner, I think we should take the opportunity to truly, contemplate what we have learned from the Dharma, and we should retreat ourselves. We should retreat ourselves. All our body, speech, and mind. Get into retreat. Retreating from all the samsaric activities, in particularly in essenceless samsaric activities. So try to observe precepts, physically, verbally, mentally, try to engage into, taking like admirable precepts, trying to, utilize this very precious time to conduct our daily yoga commitments, in this stage around the world, many countries are applying lockdown or self-isolations and minimum like 2 weeks, like that. And many of the daily yoga commitments or Ngondo retreats, about 2 weeks, if you really conduct with full concentration, full dedicated time, many of the daily yoga commitment retreats and many Ngondo retreats can able to complete within 2 weeks. So we usually, like myself, I travel around the different centers around the world and meet many Dharma practitioners, and almost everywhere I hear complaint of not finding time to do retreat, not finding time to really to contemplate what we have learned. And many do express that we have learned so much, we know so much, but then somehow that we are unable to integrate into practice, and unable to use during a difficult time the Dharma as an antidote to overcome samsaric challenges. Like within past 1 to 2 weeks, a lot of messages and a lot of cautions, and people are struggling, and many who, in fact, long-time Dharma practitioners, and many even lead Dharma discourses, Dharma discussions, but they are greatly struggling with so much fear of uncertainty, and so much anxiety, and some like Dharma suddenly disappeared, and this is absolutely the reason of the learning didn't cooperate or combine with the contemplation and meditation, and meditation here meaning is application with the deep thinking and the deep utilizing whenever there is adversities or difficulties arises through circumstances in our mind and in our body, by using the Dharma wisdom, we're able to eradicate or at least subside or at least prevent or purify it, at the best, to be able to purify it, and those arising of any form of negative emotions like that. So therefore, whatever we learn, the engaging into practice is extremely important. Even we learn a little bit, but if we're able to contemplate and engage into practice and apply into our day-to-day life, as that learning as an antidote to overcome samsara and its causes, the delusions, then that one intense Dharma training, Dharma practice will able to act as an antidote to all the difficulties. So you see, so therefore, and this is for Dharma practitioner, it is opportunity for us to retreat ourselves and do intensive retreats, intensive sessions, at least 2 to 3 hours of session 4 times a day, in conjunction to daily yoga commitment retreats, in conjunction to Lamrim retreat or Lojong retreats, or the Ngondo retreats, then the in between these sessions, there may be 1-2 hours, then offer service to your family members where you live, such as engaging in the such as 7 limb practices like doing prostrations, doing extensive as much as offering as possible, like waterfall offerings. Then and purify negativities by cleaning, cleaning the house. Such like the example that we all know, the Arahat, by cleaning around the temple with the recitation of Dulpang, Timapang, outwardly you purify, you clean the dirts, but inwardly you clean the karma, you clean the negative emotions, you clean the obscuration to nirvana and obscuration to omniscient, and this way, someone who conventionally has a very low mentality, low mental intelligence, but then due to such practices, by purifying the karma and the karmic obscuration, he able to obtain arhatship within that very lifetime. And we have the same opportunity to do so, and we don't need temple kind of outside to go. Our heart is the temple. As long as we have the correct thinking, correct practice, and utilize that wherever the environment you are, and that could be your room, that could be your the family lounge. So instead of expecting other families to do the chore, we take as a post meditation or post retreat practice the karma yoga. So we initiate ourselves as a Dharma practitioner, initiate to be very productive. Whenever needed to keep silence, quiet, we engage into retreat sessions. Whenever families need help, like such as cooking, such as tidy and cleaning the house, then we volunteer ourselves, instead of waiting someone to clean. Because this round of time, when people live in a big family or people live with, at least 2 persons together, there's also danger of misunderstandings and danger of misunderstandings, disharmony. There's such things possible. So in order to prevent that happening, and if someone volunteer to even doing the ordinary things, but for the Dharma practitioner, it's not ordinary. It is a serious purification practice and accumulation of merit. So, so whatever we need to do in the family, while we are at home with the families or anyone, then you take that as an opportunity to cultivate the practice in 6 paramita, and to practice the 6 paramita, and develop our heart at the same time, benefit greatly to your family members. Then isolating from going out, isolating, the social distance, etc. We don't have to feel strange. We don't have to feel suffocated. We rather take this as a practice of great compassion. In the concern of rest of the numberless sentient beings, rest of the humanities, rest of the family members and friends, their well-being, their health and well-being, that you take these measures, by paying full attention to the advice of, medical authorities or medical science, So, and so in this way, conventionally, we are able to, take good care of hygienes, and as well as protect oneself, protect one's family, and protect the rest of the community and the rest of the people in the world. And ultimately, all these sufferings and adversities are to do with negative karma, the collective negative karma and individual negative karma. That's why how intensity of this difficulty go through, there's a contribution from individual karma and as well as the collective karma that, like, collectively whole world is experiencing. So how much we do from the science and medicine, but if we don't put effort to purify the karma, purify the root cause, then even though things may be better in some way, but then the adversities and sufferings and problems, the crisis will never end. You see, will continue like that. I mean, we'll experience endlessly, until we purify the root cause. So therefore, in this kind of time, paying attention to both the conventional advice, conventional taking measure of listening to the science and doctor, and ultimately and to purify the karma by utilizing the dharma and getting into retreat and getting into practices. So this way, all these crises, the suffering phenomena are all lies in the nature of impermanent. So understanding this dharma wisdom, we must, instead of fear and anxiety, we must have a full hope and be optimistic and be calm and be peaceful, by understanding the reality of impermanence, that this thing will come to completely over, completely come to end. Just matter of time, all these things will end. Not only this pandemic, but the most serious pandemic, the samsara, and it is causes the delusion and karma will come to end. If we take a serious measure to purify its causes and listen to the wise ones' advice, such as Buddha's advice, like that. So therefore, instead of fear, instead of being in fear and anxiety, we should, really feel fortunate, by taking this adversity as an opportunity to really, engage in benefiting numberless sentient beings' well-being, starting from your family members and rest of the humanity. Of course, whatever is going is very, 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 very unfortunate. But in fact, in reality, the samsara itself is the most unfortunate that, every single 6 realm sentient beings are experiencing, and due to the much intense distraction of grasping to the material objects and samsaric, temporary pleasure, then completely thicken our mind, cloud our mind by the hallucinations and delusions, ignorant, and due to that, we kind of seeing, samsara is many time in our day-to-day life we think that it's perfect. It's like always sunny, once in a while when the problem comes, it's like suddenly a cloud appear, and otherwise it's always perfect, In samsara, there's no perfect at all, Kowa cup is similar, Dewa Namya Yuema, in the tips of the needle of some, like a needle, like there's some tips of samsara, samsara, and like a needle tips, there's no pleasure, there's no happiness, so like that. So therefore, in actual fact, there's no, the samsara itself is the worst pandemic. If we purify that, we purify rest of the other adversities, and that can be done by engaging in practices. So therefore, everyone, I think we should take opportunity to really, best, get enlightenment during this difficult time, to intensify our Dharma practices, to sweeten our journey towards liberation, enlightenment, very much seek by the intensity of renunciation, towards the samsara. You see, so now this pandemic really, make us to really see how filthy, it can be, how dangerous it can be, everybody kind of, whether we are practitioner of Dharma or not, everybody realize how fragile the life can be, how serious it can be in this, contaminated world, you see. So therefore, this pandemic, really kind of intensify our renunciation towards samsara, towards the distraction, towards samsaric material, things, distraction towards this politics, ordinary politics, dharma politics, all these hates, misunderstandings, accusations, you see, when this thing comes, you see, everyone helpless, like that, everyone becomes so vulnerable. There's no difference, no difference from the top general and top prime ministers and presidents, the richest man in the world, to the poorest one. Everyone becomes same in this pandemic. In samsara, everyone is exactly same, you see. So therefore, everything put aside. If you need to give, if you need to forgive, just forgive. Just forgive. If you felt that people have hurt you, if you felt that you have hurt others, general compassion. If you feel that people have hurt you in some way, forgive them. In life, instead of being honest, being caring, compassionate, and just stuck with the misunderstanding, stuck with the wrong view, stuck with you see, people just due to ignorant, due to delusion, due to this hallucination, unnecessarily create so much harm to each other, within family, within the society, among human to human, wars, accusations, harm to each other. All this is unnecessary. Let go, forgive, just cultivate this valuable time with full of compassion, full of love, kindness, caring, Start with the family members. Start with your partner. Start with your children. Start with your grandparents. In this kind of difficult time, when all the family come together, please, take good care of the elderly one. Please take good care of the little one. Please take good care of your partner. They are the most precious. And same goes to open your heart, goes to rest of the other humanity, rest of the other sentient being. You see, I think this, the coronavirus crisis, I think it's really like it's a big teaching, manifests into a big teaching to really to reshape our way of thinking, our way of doing things, by realizing how fragile it can be, just finish your life within few days like that, within a moment like that, and it's so contagious, you see, but we never realize we have such a strong, permanent grasping to the life, permanent grasping to our financial status, our status, you see, there's no such thing, and there's no permanent out there in all this, functioning phenomena, you see. Then we always regard, everything is all right, everything is pure. In samsara, where got all right, where got pure? We have this impure view. We have this wrong view of, grasping and regarding impure as pure, impermanent as permanent. you see. Then selflessness, emptiness nature and selflessness nature as a true existence, inherent existence, you see. Then, most of all, samsara and this aggregate, regard as nothing going to be wrong. Everything is all right, So actually, it lies in the nature of contamination, nature of suffering. All these samsaric phenomena, the aggregates are all lies in the nature of suffering. You see, but we regard everything is like perfect. Everything is all right. Even this COVID-19 situation over, we kind of seeing like everything again. The world will be all right. As long as we are in samsara, as long as we don't have this basic wisdom of 4 seals of the Dharma, we always will experience the leakage, committing negative karma, arising negative emotions, then experiencing, all sort of form of sufferings, you see. So we really, really need to wake up at this time and really, shift the direction of way of our thinking and way of our behavior, that start with your family members, Really, this is a time to really share sincere love, kindness, generosity, compassion, to the rest of the family members and to the rest of the communities, When all this pandemic the situation is contained, when everybody come together, where we can able to see the most loving 2 person, meeting first time after so long, that kind of attitude that we have to develop and practice and train, during this period of retreating time, you see. So like that. So again, when we talk about retreat, some people may think that we need bhajan and bell, we need to be look like we are in the cave, look like like kind of statue, no. Retreat is retreat from your motivation and your way of doing, through your body, speech, and mind. Do according with the Dharma principle. Do according with the principle of 6 paramita. Do according with the principle of the wisdom of the 4 seals. And deeply meditate or deeply be mindful of compassion and selflessness. And that illustrate through our body, speech, and mind to the society, to the all sentient being, and starting from your partner, your family member, and that is retreat. That is applying Dharma in action, like that, you see. So I really hope that everyone will do that, and we are so fortunate that Kyabche Lama Sopa Rinpoche and all the holinesses and all the gurus have provided so many Dharma advice, and it's so easy nowadays through the channel of internet. We can look into those recommended practices, and each and every one of us, try our best through online in a group or individually, most importantly, individually by yourself, do diligently, instead of depressed, instead of feel suffocated. No, just feel as if like not enough time, by doing all these practices, and feel fortunate because you have at least some time to do these practices like that. You see, it's how fortunate. Myself, since mid-December, try to dedicate in retreat, and now some of the teaching tours, everything will be postponed. In the concern of the well-being of everyone. It's necessary. Everybody should take a responsibility for the concern of everybody's benefit. So therefore, maybe for coming 2-3 months, or even 6 months, or even whole year, or even whatever, until this situation completely bring into full control, conducting retreat, you see, then whatever little merit, little practices that I accumulate, I dedicate each and every one of everybody, especially those who been requesting prayers, and in this difficult time, people are seeking prayers and dedication of merit. This is my responsibility. I will do my part, and all of you individually also do from your part, so that we collectively create a condition to make it so effective to receive the benefit of prayers and dedications. Okay, so thank you very, very, very much, and take care, and not to panic, not to have anxiety, not to have too much worry of future. Just try to calm your mind with Dharma practices, Dharma wisdom, and have a lot of peace, harmony, happiness, with your family members. If you are alone, and take the full opportunity to do even more strict retreat. You see how rare for us to find a conducive place, conducive time to go and do solitude retreat, isn't it? And please take this opportunity. Even it takes three years or more. Just get into a strict retreat. This is the best time. You see. So therefore, either you are alone, or either you are in a family, or either you are in a group, or either you are somewhere, stuck somewhere. Every place, anywhere you are, is a perfect retreat place to cultivate loving kindness, compassion, and selfless wisdom. Okay, emptiness, like that. So thank you very, very much, Dashitele. Thank you. And thank you for some of the Dharma brothers, sisters who asked me to, record the video. So yeah, because initially I didn't think of recording such video or sending message, because out there so many advice and messages and guidance out there. So I thought not necessary. But then there are a few that who is says that at least it would be helpful for their heart, their mind, their practice. So asked me to do so. So on their request, and anybody who's watching this, and I hope that that makes some difference in this difficult time. So take care. Thank you, and Tashidele.